Let me now here, somewhat in the same sense as my president said, to speak about the future. And my impression is that we face terrible challenges. And let me quote a colleague from MIT, which is very well known, Nicolas Negroponte. And he said in a meeting in Tunis, among them, that without education, we cannot solve any major problem. And when I say education, or when he's reference to education, then is that education for all young people, girls and boys, or boys and girls? I know this is a problem for many countries, but it is a terrible challenge we have to meet. The second one is the demographic evolution. Can we imagine that in half a century, and I just refer that children here present will then normally be still alive, will face somewhere between 9 and 10 billion people. That means when we are today, there will be about 3 persons. How are we going to manage this situation, which is not far away? And the question arises as well, together, is our planet large enough to house these additional populations, the 10 billion people? The answer is, when we go on the way we do, at least speaking about the industrialized countries, it is not possible. So, there is an answer in general terms, and which is to a certain extent confirmed here with a cyclone, the typhoon of 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's not so that there were no typhoons in the past, certainly not, but they will go on in the future. And many scientists of the IPCC, that's more than 2,000, have indicated the tendency that the number will rise, as well as their strength or their capacity for destruction. So the conclusion is, among others, the conclusion is that humanity has to learn to live with nature and the environment and not to dominate or to try to dominate it. This is an enormous challenge that for centuries, for millennia, humankind has lived as if that nature was given for free. This century, as our colleague has said, has changed the opinion scientifically, and there is no fantasy to be brought in against that. We are now understanding that we have to live with limits, and nature is not for free. We have emerged, the humankind emerged from nature, and it can only survive with nature in harmony. And I close, then the time is going, with quoting Edward O. Wilson, famous biologist, elder person in the meantime, from Harvard. In one of his books, The Search of Nature, the title of his last chapter is, I quote, "Is humanity suicidal? Question mark." This is my message, my challenge, the 2 challenges I want to express. And I hope that, and I did find here in the foundation, support for that type of thinking, which I should ask to join every one of you. Thank you.